Hello and welcome to the latest forecast for Scotland from the Met Office. It's a week since the devastating flooding occurred across eastern Scotland, and unfortunately we're going to see a similar setup over the next few days, but not quite as extreme. The wind strength won't be as high and the amount of moisture in the atmosphere won't be quite as high. So yes, continued rainfall for eastern Scotland in particular, especially those areas affected last week. Angus, Aberdeenshire, Perth and Kinross, but levels will be a step down in terms of accumulated rain over the next few days. But there will be some heavy rain during the rest of Friday into Saturday. Totals on Friday and Saturday added together, totting up to around 25 to 50 millimetres for eastern Scotland, and for the wetter parts of Angus into South Aberdeenshire, Perth and Kinross, there's the risk of 50 to 100 or perhaps more in some of the wetter spots. Now, the rain does ease a little by the end of the night. It's a showery bout of rain to come across eastern Scotland. Some of those showers making their way towards the west and the north as well. But in the west and the north, it's mostly dry with some clear spells. Quite a strong breeze blowing overnight, so that will keep temperatures in the high single figures by and large. Then as we go into the start of the weekend, further pulses of wet weather pushing into the east. And there'll be further showers affecting the far north. The Northern Isles seeing quite a strong wind from the east-southeast, but the, again, driest and brightest weather will be found towards the west coast. One or two showers here, but otherwise sunny spells. And also a drier and brighter interlude coming into the south and into central parts by lunchtime. So some sunny spells there for Glasgow and Edinburgh briefly into the start of the afternoon. You can see how the rain edges north a little. It eases off later in the day on Saturday, so thankfully a drier spell to come on Saturday night, not entirely dry, however. And temperatures struggling somewhat because of the strong easterly wind. It's going to feel on the cool side, particularly if you're stuck under the persistent rain. As I mentioned, the rain does ease a little later Saturday and into Saturday night, so a respite for a brief time. And there'll be further showers elsewhere, but even these will also tend to ease overnight. So clear spells towards the west, but with a strengthening wind overnight. Of course, it's going to stay relatively mild through the hours of darkness. Low pressure to the west continuing to drive weather systems in from the southwest, and those weather systems becoming increasingly stuck across central and eastern Scotland as they run up against high pressure over Scandinavia. Some uncertainty about the amount of rain that we're going to see through Sunday and Monday. It all hinges on whether an area of low pressure intensifies out into the North Sea, and that could bring strengthening winds as well on Sunday. But either way, after that drier interlude on Saturday night, there's further wet weather to come in the east. On Sunday, some heavy bouts of rain possible, and of course that coming on top of everything else could cause further issues. Some bits and pieces of rain further west, but it will be always driest and brightest towards the west. However, with this strengthening east to increasingly northeasterly wind, it is going to feel a touch colder. You can see the first signs of some snow over the tops of the mountains there, and that cold air getting into the far north later Sunday, impacting the temperatures 8 or 9 Celsius for Orkney and Shetland. Double figures elsewhere, just with 11 or 12 Celsius possible in some of the brighter spots. Finally, through the start of next week, after Monday really, that rain does clear away. Colder air spreads in from the north for a time before further lows arrive midweek on.